Hi, this is Cal Musselman with Team Musselman, and welcome to this week's Real Estate Educational Videocast. This week's topic is, do I sell my property myself? Do I hire a professional agent to sell my property? Or do I hire Cal and Donnell Musselman to sell my property? The American culture loves the do-it-yourselfer. There are books, DVDs, websites, even an entire network, of which I love, that's dedicated to that do-it-yourself culture. It feels good to do things on your own. There's a sense of accomplishment. Of course, there's that sense of that you're saving money. Many of you are like me, and you like to brag a little about the things that you do on those home remodel projects. I grew up in the building trades, and most specifically the plumbing trade, and I know it pretty well. I can remodel a bathroom, change out a toilet or a sink or a fixture, install a sprinkling system in the yard, and do it with a great deal of confidence. But what I recognize, even with those abilities that I've had in years past, I recognize that I can't do it as well as the professional that is currently and has been doing it for years. They can rely on their current skills, their past skills and experiences, and the tools they've collected, as well as their ability to minimize the waste. They can do things more effectively and with far less waste than I could ever do them. That same spirit of do-it-yourself exists with selling your home. There's a sense of pride and independence in selling your own home. Of course, there's that idea of saving a substantial amount of money that is very appealing as well. That being said, that same logic in the aforementioned building trades holds with selling your home on your own as well. The real estate professional, the true professional, and there's a distinction, the true professional that does it day in and day out, that has years of experience, can rely on those years of experience to tap into refined skills and tools that they have at their fingertips to be able to do their jobs more effectively and with a far higher degree of success. Before I go much further, though, I want to establish a couple things. First, every home is sold by owner. That's right. Every home is sold by owner. The greatest misused words in our industry is stating that a professional agent sells a home. A professional agent doesn't sell a home. You can't sell something that you don't own or possess. All homes are sold by the ultimate owner, so all homes are ultimately sold by owner. It's a misuse of words, and it's easier to look at it either there is an unrepresented seller or a represented seller. And that's what I'll use going forward. There's another distinction that I want to talk about, and that is we live in a great society. In fact, the greatest society the world's ever known. One of the best things about living in a free society is a free market system. And one specific thing that a free market system does is that if you provide a service that the consuming public wants, it rises to the top and it stays there. And if you don't, the consuming public will purge it. There is one undeniable truth in real estate, and that is the full service brokerage is a viable business and has been such for nearly 100 years. Now, I got to get to the boring stuff. The stats. What do the stats tell us? What is the current stats that has been collected? What is it telling us? Well, first, number one. In 1991, 77% of homes were sold agent assisted. By 2011, that number had grown to 87%. Number two, 9 out of 10 home sellers that start out represented ultimately list their properties with a professional brokerage. 9 out of 10. Number three, as of 2011, the average seller represented homes sold at $200,000. And the average seller unrepresented homes sold at $155,700. That's a difference of 28% rather. A substantial amount. So what does that reveal? What are those stats telling us? First, it's telling us that the American public are recognizing in progressively higher numbers the value of being represented in the sale of their homes. Second, 90%. It's clear 90% of all do-it-yourselfers will ultimately seek representation in the sale of their home. And third, Americans are realizing far, far, far higher sell prices when they are fully represented than when they're not. In fact, 28% difference. Why? What is a true professional able to offer that benefits a seller to such a great degree that these stats indicate? There are some very high profile things, the things that we always think about. The paperwork, the complexity of the paperwork, and navigating them. Preparing your home to sell. Marketing, negotiating, and the all important making sure we're pricing the property right. But there's some less notable things that we don't necessarily talk about, and that's experience in those critical nuances in negotiating the contract during the contract period and getting the contract from accepted to close. That's where the real difference is made. That's where the value of a true professional shines through. With Team Musselman, we pride ourselves in these abilities. After years of experience and well over 1,000 deals done, we've refined our skills and gained valuable knowledge and experience that we rely on every day, not just in negotiating the deal and knowing what to do and when to do it, but in the communities, the little nuances in our communities that make a difference, both for the buyer and the seller. We have the marketing program, the years of experience, and the professional development that sets us apart. We are deeply committed to our sellers. We care about them deeply. We want a seller to choose us not just for that one deal, not just to be their realtor in that one deal, but to be their realtor for life. We have a success ratio that is far higher than our peers when it comes to actually selling a property. Anybody can just list a property. You can go out and list your property with any professional realtor that knows how to fill out a paperwork that an 11-year-old could do. But it's another thing entirely to get that deal from listed to actually sold. That's where the true value comes into play, and that's where Team Musselman truly sets ourselves apart. It takes dedication, commitment, talent, and experience. Just call us, email us, or text us, and you'll see what that difference is. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned something. This is Cal Musselman.